So it's been a little bit since I got the new engine in, and I've had some time to look it over. I haven't started pulling anything apart because I don't have any replacement pieces yet. There's some pretty interesting things that I have found, and actually some parts that look new. If you look at the fan really closely, it is a genuine BMW part, and it looks brand new. In fact, not only does it look brand new, it actually still has the paper sticker attached to the fan blade. You can see that it has the BMW Bear branded name tag there in the front, and it looks really clean. The other thing I noticed is the alternator. The alternator looks very clean as well. The bolts aren't corroded. There's a lot of things on here that just make the alternator, to me, look like it has been replaced recently. Right behind the alternator there is a cooling duct. This looks new as well, still has its name tag on it and everything. Next is the intake boot. Although it's dirty, it looks to be intact. I don't see any tears in it. So hopefully that's something that we can salvage and be able to put in our spare parts bin. The other thing that I noticed on the intake boot is the F connector. This is a piece that goes out oftentimes in older models. These plastic parts just kind of break and start to fall apart. This one looks to be in good condition. I'm hoping the DESA valve is also in good condition. It looks nice on the outside, so hopefully it's a relatively new system. New, they can go for like $350, so I'm hoping that this one is good. Back to the front of the engine, the serpentine belt looks basically brand new. Still has its wording on it and everything like that, and doesn't look like it's hardly had any runtime. On top of that, the AC belt looks the same way, still has all of its wording on it, still is in great condition. Also on the front of the engine, you can see the thermostat housing looks to be in great condition as well. Both connectors look relatively new, there's no corrosion on it, and hopefully that has been replaced, and there's a new thermostat in there as well. The Vano system looks to have some parts replaced on it as well. There's a couple pieces that look really clean and new, so hopefully they've gone through the Vano system as well. That'd be really nice. I haven't done a Vano system. Not afraid to do it, just haven't done one before, so I don't really know what to look for on that. I can just see on the outside that there's some pieces that look newer. There are multiple pieces that have come on this engine that I'm not going to be using. I use an electric fan, so this clutch fan is going to come off, and hopefully I'll be able to find somebody that needs one, or I'll just be posting it to sell. Same thing with the AC compressor. I'll probably be pulling that off along with the pulley and the belt, and seeing if I can find somebody to take that over. There's a couple other items on here that I probably won't be using. There's some coolant hoses that run underneath the intake manifold here that from the back look pretty new. I can't see up here because it's still kind of down underneath everything. I'm going to check the crankcase ventilation system as well. That's something that goes out in some of these higher mileage engines. And obviously with the rebuild kit, I'll be going through and doing all the gaskets on the entire engine. Now, I'm not going to be doing a full rebuild process like step by step. If you want to learn and watch videos on how to do that for your car, for your E46, I would suggest watching two different channels that I have gotten most of my information from. I watch the 50s Kid and shoplifeTV. I'll have both of their links in the description below. They are awesome guys. I watch all of their stuff to make sure that I'm taking care of my BMW engines properly. Basically, any maintenance project that I've ever had to do on these cars, I've had to watch their videos first. And they've saved me a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of heartache that I would have gotten if I would have just jumped into a lot of these projects by myself. So again, if you want to watch some of these rebuild videos step by step, both those guys go through their engines pretty thoroughly. I know that 50s Kid actually has like a 27 some odd part rebuild for his, and he goes through tools and the prices of everything and everything he had to do to completely go through and rebuild and machine out his engine block. So I would definitely recommend checking out both those channels. As for the rest of my night, I want to pull off the fan, check out the DESA valve, pull off the thermostat, pull out the fuel pump. That's a fuel pump. Not right there, it's a fuel pump. It's on the front of the engine in the BMWs. Also want to get the AC compressor off the engine. I won't be using that. The other thing that I won't be using is the cooling system for the power steering that the Z3 uses. So I don't have the clutch fan removal tool because these are normally found in the automatics, and I haven't had an automatic E46 since the very first car I ever had. So I don't actually have the removal tool for this, but there are ways to get them off without having that removal tool. I'm gonna start by getting the actual blades out of the way. There's a couple Allen headed screws in here that I'm gonna be taking off. That'll get the blades out of the way, and then I'll be able to sneak a crescent wrench back behind there and get the rest of the clutch system off. People replace these items I just took off pretty often. The alternator, the water pump, the diesel valve, those kind of items go out on these engines around 100,000 miles-ish is when you really should go through and refresh everything. I've loved having the engine out of the car. It's been fantastic. I haven't had to worry about any room or anything like that. I just pull the part off and it's been awesome. I was actually looking forward to working on the engine outside the car more than anything else, knowing that I was going to be doing this project. So far, I'm really happy with the engine that I got. A lot of these items that I've been pulling off are new or have been replaced recently. Be willing to bet it has less than 10,000 miles on it. There's just not that much wear. They're not dirty. They look very new. They also have their stickers and tags and stuff on them. So in that regard, I think I'm safe in saying that the previous owner did take good care of this engine while he was in possession of it. The other thing that I noticed was I had all of these caps on the top of the engine, which is not a big deal, but I always thought that that was kind of cool. Most of them are missing one or two, or they're broken, or they break easy when you pop them off. I haven't popped these off yet because I'm a little bit scared that I'll break one of them. So I'm going to be continuing to pull this apart, but like I said, from now on, it'll be kind of just like update videos. I'll be pulling the camera out and just going over what we're doing, spend 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, kind of what's going on and how far along in the process we are. I'm going to be linking the eBay seller. They're out of Oregon, Portland, if I remember correctly. They got a whole bunch of postings on eBay. They got some other engines that are there, and they're all just real clean like this. I'm very impressed with their work. I'm not sure if the seller was the one who actually pulled the engine out, but the way that the other engines look on their postings is that whoever did this for them, or if they did it, it was very professionally done. All the harnesses are intact, nothing's been cut. There's plugs, you can see all the little blue plugs as we go around the engine. Everything's been plugged and capped. They even pulled and supplied the relays as they were pulling them out of the fuse box. So this was professionally pulled out of the car. It looks awesome. And if you're looking for a BMW engine, I would check out their listings first to see if they've got anything you're looking for before you start anywhere else.